everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today is part 2 of my front garden makeover. In this video, I'm going to do something I've never done before, and it's called kerfing wood. And I have absolutely no idea how to do it, except I was over at a client's house and they had their garden edged in 2x4s that were bent. And I've never seen that before. And I asked them what that was called, and they said wood kerfing, or kerfing wood. So I didn't know how to do it. So I reached out to a fellow YouTuber and I asked him if he knew how to do it, and he made a video. The name of his YouTube channel is here, and the link to his video is in the description box. So please go over there and watch it and subscribe to his channel. It's pretty interesting. So once he made the video, I saw how easy it was, so I went to the pawn shop and bought a compound miter saw. I think that's what it's called when you can slide it in and out, not only go up and down. So if I'm wrong, please forgive me. And what I want to do, since I have different areas in my front yard and I'm trying to get rid of the grass, I want to have little footpaths everywhere from the driveway to the front door, and then to the secret garden that I eventually am going to create this fall on the east side of the house. And I've got to delineate each of these beds and have something to contain the mulch. I'm not going to do mulch up against the house. In my area, mulch draws roaches and termites. So I'm just going to keep rock up there, and plus the lizards really like it. So you're going to see in this video that I'm using a lot of landscape fabric, and I am repurposing it from the backyard. So what I'm doing is I'm only putting landscape fabric down for right now to kill the weeds and the unwanted plants. So whenever I can get some wood chips delivered, I will remove the landscape fabric and put down the wood chips. So the landscape fabric is only temporary, just to kill weeds. What I'm trying to do is create a garden just for me. People from the road or from the driveway or either one of the renters is not going to be able to see inside of my garden once it's established. I've got North Pole arborvitaes along the driveway, and I've got arborvitaes, I think they're called green giant arborvitaes, I cannot remember, along the ditch. And I don't know if I have uploaded that video yet or not, and if I haven't, I'll just put snippets of when I planted those arborvitaes along the ditch. And I want to create a living wall of arborvitaes or shrub trees all around my property for privacy and shade. Now my garden is going to look a little bit strange because people plant their garden for other people. I'm planting this garden for me. I want to be able to see it from my picture window, and when I walk out the front door to the mailbox or to the car. And I want people who come to my house be able to come from the driveway to the front door and see this hidden garden. So when I'm planting plants, it's going to be kind of in reverse. I'm going to have taller things out further in the yard, and the smaller things up against the house and around the pond and around the big cedar tree in the front yard. And I'm going to be creating pathways with taller, shrubs and trees to create, I guess, hallways, if you will, around the garden and around the front yard, if you will. So it's just going to be interesting. And I know for right now I'm planting things a little too close because some are slow growing, some are fast growing, and if one dies, at least I already have something established. My sun plants eventually will have to be moved because it's going to become really shady in the front yard, which is my goal, is I want shade throughout my whole yard. And so this is going to be a forever evolving garden. So things are going to be planted now that'll have to be removed and moved somewhere else later. So it's going to be kind of interesting. I've never designed a garden, and I'm not really designing it. I know what I want, and I'm just doing it as I go. And I'm just going to enjoy the process. So that's what we're doing, is kerfed wood today, landscape fabric install, and some plant planting. And I'm not going to get in the weeds with it. I'm not going to show you every little thing. I'm just going to give you the gist of it, but I will focus on planting the plants. So I know that's what you guys like, so I'm going to stop all this talking and let's get going. But what I did was I came out here and I screwed this saw into these boards, and I screwed the boards into the sawhorses. All right, we have a lull in traffic. I think the train slowed up the traffic for a little while. But here's some limbs that I had to take down because I put Christmas lights up already. And I had a friend come over and get both of my pineapple guavas and my peach. So I've got to take out all of this vegetation right here. That's weeds. Pick this up, and I've got to take some of these fronds off because they're just I'd rather not them be a little higher up, so I'm not hitting myself on them. You wonder where Oliver is. He is watching closely my progress out here. Now I think that looks a lot better. And now it won't be in my way when I start clearing all this out. Now the sun is going to start rounding off over here. It's going to get rather bright. And so forgive that in advance.
Wow, that's a huge difference. The sand gnats are coming out, they're getting me. So I have a Forever Goldie arborvitae, which I'm going to plant right there. I'm going to let that Joseph's coat go all the way dive back to the ground. I've got it flagged out along with this teacup that got frostbitten pretty good. We had that vortex a couple of weeks ago. So I'm going to leave all of that right now, and I'll dig it up when they've died all the way back to the ground. I dismantled all of my raised beds. This is the soil that came out of one of my raised beds. So I got to fill up that hole and that hole, and then I'll go get my shovel and we'll take care of this. Let's get this hole filled. I think what I'll do is take my garden hose and kind of make an outline of what I want to do. Take the lawnmower, come down here, and see what just feels natural when I come off of that driveway. Alright, what I need to do is I need to go get my pry bar, my stakes, my exterior screws, and my impact driver, and we'll get all this tacked in. What I have to do before I do anything is I need, you see how it's starting to crack right there? I really screwed up with that right there, so I'm going to take a stake and try to hold this together. Alrighty. Hey, buddy. Alright, I need, not in there, not in here, exterior screws, 2.5 inch exterior screws. Those are just leftover screws that I had. Impact driver and the battery. I charged it, and I don't leave my batteries on my, and the screw's still on there, the bit's still on there. Alright, I got everything. I decided to mow and weed eat after I get all this wood installed, but I don't think I'll be able to curve this as much as I want, so I may have a little oddity here, or I'll really have to bend this one. But this is really bent, and it's right where I want it, so this one I got to work with. I don't know how I'm going to do this. The lawnmower just glides along that smoothly. I'm not sure how I'm going to close that up there, but we'll get to that later. I wanted a little bit more curve in here, but I think that's just asking way too much. So now you can kind of see, I know that looks kind of bad, but like I said, that's what plants are for. So now you see what I'm going for. So now I'm going to meet that and make a gentle curve back that way. got it. It has a little bit more curve to it, and I like that. Okay, that works. It could be in a little bit further, but like I said, the more I mess with it, the worse it gets. You start getting gaps in between your joints. But I think that looks really good. Once you get plants all over it, it won't be as noticeable. Like that right there. It's not perfect, but it's better than it was. I got my tools for the landscape fabric, which is this fun owlet trigger and gun for the propane, or butane rather. I got this off Amazon, and you can order butane and it will ship to you via Walmart. Then I have the Hongwei landscape staples. There is a lull in the traffic right now, so I can talk. I am going to be putting the landscape fabric out here. I'm not going to worry about the edges too much because they're just going to get stapled down. I'm going to have to give a little bit of room on the edges so that if I ever have to make any adjustments, I have some left over. So let me pull all of these potted plants out, get the landscape fabric down. I will cut the landscape fabric around the pre-existing plants and just leave it at that. I'm only going to do up to here. Guys, that does it for today. We'll pick up tomorrow morning. That was a lot to get done. We dug up the plants and moved them and transplanted them, watered them in, filled in the holes, and got the landscape fabric out. And I know it's wonky up here, but I got to pull weeds and then put out some more landscape fabric after I weed. But that was a lot of progress. We've been at this for about 4 hours. I'm kind of tired. I got to run some errands. And I think it looks great. It wiggled out of form just a little bit. I'll put it back later. But I think it looks great. I got to eventually, after I dig everything and plan everything, I'll put the staples on the seams that go down the middle. So tomorrow, we'll lay out the plants. I'll decide where they need to go, how good it's going to look. We'll dig up that Vitex right here, put it in the center, and then everything else goes around it. And we'll review the plants one more time before I put them in. And that'll do it for today. I appreciate you being here, and I'll see you in the next.